Correa and Altuve have done this in the postseason for years and years. Did you kind of expect, in a tight game that there's going to have to be those guys to come through and sort of deliver you the way they did?
Well, I was hoping it would be them. When you have a good lineup, you don't know, which guy it's going to be. But those two guys I've been watching them for years, and it's a pleasure to be watching them up close and personal. And boy, they are some clutch guys. And that was a great game. It was a great game to manage, great game to watch, and I'm just glad that we came out on top.
I'll go with Christie in the second row.
Dusty, what did you think about how your bullpen performed after Framber had to go? Went out early.
Yeah, well, it became a battle of the bullpens actually, because their bullpen performed well. Also, ours did a great job. I think we almost went through everybody on both sides in Game 1, and we got some big outs. Framber, he wasn't sharp, but he got some big double plays, and probably some of the biggest outs actually was Jimmy coming in and getting that one out, with runners on second and third, and had he not, the game would have been 5-0 instead of 3-0, and it gave us a chance to come back. And if you get a chance, bona fide chance, then you still feel it, and you feel that you can, it's not a mountain that's too high to climb. And boy, that was all I can say. That was some game.
Marley in the fifth row here.
Hey,
Hi, Dusty. Dusty, when you were live on Fox, you actually were watching the Kike home run, and you did a little bit of play-by-play. Can you walk us through that? What was that like to see that game tied while you're on the air?
It was terrible. And I blame Fox for that, because invariably when you are doing a in-game live interview, something usually always happens, and my mom's watching the game, so you gotta really, I think I said, "Oh God!"
Oh Lord!
Oh Lord! Yeah, because that ball, as soon as it touched his bat, it was gone. There was no. I haven't seen a hitter this hot, in the last week, than Kike Hernandez. And boy, when I saw that ball go up, I was like, "Oh man, that was a blast!" And then he blasted another one. So yeah, that's not a good feeling when you're live on air and you see that ball leaving the ballpark.
And Dusty, you've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you believe makes great postseason performers like Kike, Jose, Carlos?
Yeah. Number one, you have to rise to the occasion and want to be in that situation. And you have to raise your level of concentration and relaxation. All at the same time. And the guys that perform the best are the guys that can, pretend that it's not a big moment, but want to be into the big moment. And there's some big game, big moment guys on both sides.
I'll go with Brian on your left, Dusty.
Dusty, you've been around teammates and players that have had incredible relationships before for decades, but how unique and special is this relationship on field and off field between Correa and Altuve, to where they've been doing this since 2015 together, winning, but also in that 6th and 7th inning, it's pretty clear that they're almost following each other, trying to one-up each other in the best possible way.
Well, I don't know if they're trying to one-up each other, but they're trying to do the best they can every time out there. And I remember Lasorda used to call Billy Russell and Davey Lopes, he used to call him frickin' frack, and these those guys have been together for a long time. They know each other. It's kind of like Tom Brady and Gronkowski. They know what, how they think. They know probably what they eat, for dinner, what they like, and what the kids like. And it's a special relationship that, will last, forever, because when they get through playing, they'll be coming back, to many teams who won in 17, or teams who won here, or teams who won there, and they're a big part of it.
Chandler in the left.
Dusty, how much did Christian Javier stabilize that game for you guys? And he's thrown really well in his last 2 outings. I guess, what have you seen from him? in
Well,
those
you
2
know, he's
outings?
been working hard. I see him working in the outfield. I see him working in his bullpens. And, you know, you got to have that bridge guy that either I can come in and throw some quality innings and throw some zeros up there, to, you know, to give your offense a chance. You know, you can't have guys come in and, you know, give up a couple runs here, a couple runs there, and the next thing you know, that game's almost out of reach, you know, for us. You know, you got to have those guys that can keep the score, you know, where it is. And, you know, that's what he did for us tonight.
James on the left side.
Hey, Dustin.
Hey, James.
Could you grade or evaluate Carlos's trot around the bases? You know, he points at his wrist, pumps up the crowd, points to his ear. What do you think of just how animated?
I didn't
he was?
even watch it, to tell you the truth. I was just, you know, thankful for the fact that ball stayed fair and it went out of the ballpark. And I was thinking about, you know, how we were going to get some more runs. That's what I was thinking about. And the guys that were up after, you know, Carlos. So, like I said, you know, I didn't even watch it. You know, I don't know what he did. So I was just kind of numb and, you know, I was like, you know, talking to my dad and it's like, you know, just thankful for that ball went out of the ballpark.
And on the right here.
A few of the relievers that you used tonight, you didn't have, you know, a couple months ago. Just how have you seen them kind of grow into their roles, and what have you learned about them, especially in these big spots?
Well, I mean, that's one of the difficulties when you make, you know, multi-player trades. You know, you have to know where to put them. You have to know where they will most likely succeed. You know, how are they, are they better at clean innings, or are they better, you know, who's the best guys for, you know, runners inherited. You know, that's why we went to Yemi. That's why I went to Yemi the other day, because he's one of the best guys that we have at not giving up the runs that are out there for somebody else. And so, I mean, it's, you know, it's huge. I mean, you look at around the league and, you know, these guys, you know, equal to the Schwarber trade. You know, I mean, they're a different team now with Schwarber than they were the first time we saw them. And this is what trades are all about. You know, you want to fill, you know, some holes that you may have in your lineup or in your bullpen. And, boy, I mean, these guys have done a great job.
Do 3 more, Ian, and then 2 over here.
Dusty, the Red Sox scored 3 in that third inning, but it looked like they had a chance to score a few more there, second and third one out. How big a point in the game was that, just to stop them right there?
Well, that was huge. Like I said, you know, you want to stop those add-on runs, and you know, that was huge on our part, especially, you know, we had the bases loaded and you know, early in the ball game and didn't get any. And I was hoping that when Maldi got hit, there was nobody out, and I was hoping for multi-inning runs in. I mean, you know, they held us to just 1 run, you know, which kept them, you know, in the ball game. And so, you know, if you can stop those add-on runs, then you got a good chance of staying in the game and possibly winning.
2 more quick ones, because Jose is outside, so on the left side.
Dusty, going back to Javier, just with McCullers being out and how that kind of affects the rotation, just how important is Javier going to be going forward in this series to be able to continue to go in those spots like he did tonight?
It just depends how many days rest, you know, he'll get in between. And, you know, which is one reason why in the last series, I think we carried 12 pitchers, and this time we're carrying 13, because we know we're going to need, you know, that extra arm. And so, you know, hope we don't need him, you know, for the next couple of days, because, you know, usually, you know, this relieving's new to him, and so we got to protect him and do the best we can and kind of space him out and make sure that he's healthy and safe.
And we'll finish up in the 3rd row.
Dusty, kind of building off that, you know, having obviously some huge outs from your bullpen tonight, but having to go to 7 guys, you know, just how critical will it be to get some more length out of your starters as we go deeper into this series?
Yeah, I mean, what's critical is to get, you know, they used up a bunch of guys too. You know, we both used up a bunch of guys, but they, you know, they have Pavetta who can take them, you know, multi-innings. You know, they got a little bit of advantage there, you know, especially with him being a starter, you know, out there in the bullpen. So I think it's very important that, you know, during these playoffs that you pitch and use your pitchers accordingly, you know, to the ensuing and upcoming off days. And so, you know, they space those off days, you know, perfectly so you could recharge and get your guys some rest before they got to come back in.